What's up, everyone? Check, check. Okay, looks like it's working. Hello, I'm Alex with Off the Cuff Podcast, and I am back again to bring you guys a special new episode. I do apologize for being away for so long. I've had so much to do. I do have another job now, and that kind of takes up a lot of my time. I do apologize, though, because I've been trying to get this episode recorded, and it's just been adding up and adding up. So I'm hoping this is not too long, because I have a lot I want to talk about. Also, if you guys drink alcohol at all, let's have a drink, because I have one right here, and let's get to it. We're gonna be drinking this episode probably I'm hoping to hit a full hour. Probably. Wow, cool. Literally haven't even drank any of this drink yet, and I can already not speak. So I guess that's how this episode's gonna go. No, I guess yeah. If you guys want to have a drink with me, go ahead and we'll get into it. We have a lot to cover, though. There is a lot. First things first. Everything that I watched in September, I tried to record this video, and I've been looking at it. The quality is kind of bad, but I might just upload it anyway because I have a new special review coming out as well. I'm going to drop them at the same time, so you guys get two videos. I'm also probably going to splice some of the reviews because I'm going to review a few movies today during this episode, and I'm going to splice some of them out. And make a video of it and put it on YouTube on my main channel if you guys want to check that out. Also, if you guys didn't know, I do have a Patreon available. It is patreon.com/offthecuffreviews. If you guys feel it in your heart to subscribe. It's good. It's $5 a month, and you guys will be getting a special podcast episode as well as tons of reviews, music and movie reviews on Patreon, as well as a bunch of other things. So just definitely check it out, and it'll be fun. It'll definitely be fun. I have a lot of perks I want to do, and I have so many special things I want to send you guys, and just different things like that. So just please sign up for that if you guys are interested. Even if you don't sign up, I'm just going to be putting content out on there anyway, so there's already a couple videos up. Definitely go check it out. But let's get into a few things. So let's start out with some news, okay? So, Dune movie. Wow. Okay, hey guys. Hey. I just can't speak today. I don't know. I guess this is gonna be a rough hour. It's telling you now. No, but I think that the Dune movie was actually pushed back. It was supposed to come out on December 18th, 2020, but I believe it's being pushed out to October 1st, 2021. That is due to the coronavirus concerns. A lot of other movies have also been pushed back because of coronavirus, and we're also going to be entering another. We're going to be talking about that in specifics in just a sec. But so Tenet was released in the theaters, and it basically flopped. I mean, it could have done way. I mean, if you look at the box office, that number's not small, but it's not as big as it should have gone because Tenet was the most anticipated film of the year worldwide, and it basically flopped because of coronavirus. Nobody wants to go to the theaters, and it kind of sucks because Christopher Nolan doesn't like putting movies out in other kind of mediums other than the theater because that's just how he wants his movies to be seen. And I really respect that about him, but it's bad because of the way that, he released this, and it just, I don't know, it flopped, and it definitely sucks. But with that said, movie theaters, we might be seeing the end of movie theaters, at least as we know it. and it's happening like this year. So Cineworld, who owns Regal Cinemas, which is the second biggest movie theater chain in the United States of America, as well as I think the UK might even be the biggest one in the UK. Though they are shutting down indefinitely with no date on whether they're going to be coming back, nothing like that. Some people think they might be coming back in 2021. I don't know if that's going to be possible. They also apparently they didn't tell any of the employees. A lot of the employees found out on Twitter through different articles and stuff that were released about what was going on with them, which is insane. But all of these people are out of jobs now. These theaters are closing down for good, indefinitely. And it was partly due to they're closing down partly because they want to be, quote, bailed out by the government. But here's the thing. Now, I totally get like where they're coming from, especially because like the government will bail out banks and other type of corporations, but they don't bail out movie theaters. I totally get it. I totally get where they're coming from, but if they're bailed out by the government, like is that like I don't foresee them opening back up if they're bailed out by the government, because who the fuck's gonna go to the movie theater? No one's going, dude. No one's going. That's why you closed down. You didn't like the fact that they're saying that they're closing down to maybe put pressure on the government to bail them out. I can understand like maybe bailing them out like on the back end and giving them money so like they can come back in the future, but maybe you should probably be closed down, because who the fuck's going to theaters? I'm not even going to theaters. I haven't gone to a theater in a while, since even like before the coronavirus hit. The last movie I saw in theaters, I think was, oh my God. Okay, I was going to say 1917, but no, the last movie I saw in theaters was The Boy 2. Wow. That is just depressing. That's the worst movie I've like ever seen. But it really sucks. It really, really sucks. It really sucks because, you know, I love going to the movie theaters. I think that this is a big blow to theaters in general. It's a big blow to the movie industry in general. I will say that I do hope they are bailed out, but I don't want them to open back up if they're bailed out. Like that's not progressing anything. Like that's not helping anybody. That's just aiding in the spread of coronavirus. So all of these businesses that continue to remain open, that are allowing people to come in, especially mask, regardless of whether they're wearing a mask or not, it's bad for business. It is bad for business. It is allowing people to spread coronavirus. That is why we're seeing a spike in it, because a lot of people are just like, well, I don't care. Things are open, so I'm just going to go out and about and go do this and go do that and go do this. And it's scary. It is really scary. I just went to a restaurant for the first time since coronavirus hit and things started closing down. For the first time, I sat down in a restaurant. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't really want to. I just went because a friend of mine kind of convinced me to go, and I probably won't be doing it again for a while. And I used to go to restaurants all the time. I still order out. I do order and get that stuff delivered, but I don't go out. I try to avoid going out to places. If I do go out, I go out to like the gas station to get gas and to get coffee or something, like through a drive-thru, but I don't go out and about and go do normal things. Like I don't do normal things, and I don't see how anybody can be doing normal things. And if you are offended by me saying this, you're part of the problem. You need to go home. Like, go home, dude. Go home. If you're out and about, go home right now. Stop spreading this disease. Stop spreading it. Stop going out. Stop going to clubs. Stop going out and going to theaters, going to clubs, going wherever you want, doing whatever you want to do. Stop doing it just because the government says, hey, like, this is open now. Like, do you not see that? Like, in the U.S., they just announced today that we're hitting 50,000 cases per day. In one 24-hour time frame, that's 50,000 new cases per day. That's insanity. You want to know why that's happening? Because you can't stay home. You can't stay home. Stop going out. It's so frustrating because those same people are complaining when they get corona, or they're complaining that they have to keep getting tested for corona. I'm sorry, but hey, you don't want to get tested for corona? Stop going out. Stop going out. You know, like, guess what? I haven't gone out. I went to a restaurant one time and I feel bad about it. And since then, guess what? Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm not, and a lot of people are saying, well, there's occasionally some people that are getting, somehow catching it while they stay inside all day. I can understand that. I totally feel for those people, but that's not like an argument for you to go out and do things. That's not for you. That is not like a reason for you to go out. Oh, well, some people are getting it even if they're inside, so I'm just going to go outside. No, you're literally spreading it. You're spreading it. This isn't a political movement. This has nothing to do with politics. This has to do with real life. Stop going out. This is like serious. This is like me, this is a serious call to action for me right now. This is a serious thing. You need to stay inside. Movie theaters do not open back up. All of the movie theaters should close down right now. I'm sorry. Like, all of them. Close down. Close down. Close down. All of them. You're going to sit there and try to tell me that movie theaters are clean? When have movie theaters ever been clean? Ever. Dude, I just watched a video just the other day of somebody urban exploring, and they went into an abandoned movie theater from the 90s, and there was candy still there from the 90s, popcorn still there. Like old shit that is just like on the floor. Like, that was like that was like found like under seats and shit. Because guess what? They don't fucking clean those. Like, yeah, they go in there and they sweep. It's like you're gonna tell me that like some teenager that's getting paid minimum wage that doesn't want to be there, and it's probably just there because like their parents don't want to fucking deal with them. Like, they're there, they're not, you're gonna try to tell me that they're cleaning? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay? I don't think so. I'm sorry, but like, oh wow, you sit 2 seats away from somebody now? Like, okay, like, how is that like good? Like, how is that good for you? Do you know the type of people that go to movie theaters? Those are the type of people that have corona that are spreading it. Like, have you been to a fucking movie theater in the last decade? I'm sorry, but it's literally just like filled with fucking diseases. Like, constantly. It really is. Like, you need to listen to me. Like, I'm sorry, but like, how many times like do people have to tell you about all of their horror stories of getting like coughed on or fucking sneezed on or fucking like whatever the case may be? People 5 seats away fucking hacking up a lung, and you're telling me that like you're okay with that just because they're 5 seats away? Like, that literally doesn't make sense. God damn, I'm not even drunk yet. I'm already getting heated. So, but with that said, that is a big blow to movie theaters. Losing the second biggest chain in America, that's huge. This is like basically the end of fucking movie theaters as we know it right now. Moving on. So I wanted to record this episode the other day when this next news story actually broke. But I do want to talk about it. And that is Eddie Van Halen passed away from cancer just the other day. and his music was featured in a lot of movies. Not only that, but he was a big influence to me personally because I do play guitar. I definitely did look up to him. And a lot of people that a lot of other people that I look up to definitely looked up to him. I'm sure my guitar teacher definitely looked up to him. You know, he got a lot of his own style from him as well. He changed the game. He changed the game for music, and it's a sad blow to the community. And you know, my condolences go out to the Van Halen family. Okay. After that rant, that should bring us out of our little news segment. Now let's get into some other entertainment, gossip, news, drama, bullshit. So you guys know that I've been talking about the Joe Rogan fiasco with Spotify and his whole ordeal. So some information has come to light on the internet, and it definitely spread to wildfire. There's definitely a lot of articles that have talked about this. So Joe Rogan, you know, he claimed that he was not going to be an employee of Spotify, and he was claiming that, you know, I already went over this whole thing. Like, he was claiming that he wasn't going to be an employee of Spotify. He was claiming that, you know, he wasn't going to be censored. To this day, about 40 of his episodes have still been taken down and are still not up. And another blow came to his case about him not being censored, even though he continues to say that he is not censored at all. And that blow came from Spotify employees. They came out and said that there is a huge rift in the company, especially between the corporate side and the actual employees themselves. A lot of the employees are the ones that don't want his content, his controversial content, to be on the platform, which is why it is still off the platform. Which is why he's not going to have a controversial guest. You know, this isn't a thing that's going to happen again. You can pretty much kiss any like valid conversation that he might have had with anybody goodbye. It's going to be the same old Joe Rogan bullshit that you guys apparently love. I don't know. I can't get behind his podcast anymore because it's just a bunch of garbage to me now. It seems like it's just you know, vapid conversations where he's, you know, he's like a yes man where he has people on and they try to talk about things and especially if they do have a controversial opinion or any kind of opinion or anything like where, you know, it might offend somebody, he definitely veers off the topic or he definitely, you know, talks about something else. Like there's been, you know, he had a whole podcast with Adam Curry where he was talking, I think it was Adam Curry. I think this was that episode where he was like, hey, and I think he was asked about the Comedy Store. He won't even talk about the Comedy Store, you know. That was his home. That's where he built his career. He built his career at the Comedy Store in LA, and he won't even talk about that anymore. You know, he moved to Austin and he won't talk about that. Somebody brought it up on his podcast. I think it was Adam Curry. You can definitely go check this podcast out. It's still on YouTube. When asked about the Comedy Store, they were like, so, you know, he basically just asked him like, what's happening with the Comedy Store. He said, and Joe Rogan's response was, hey, you know, well, it's illegal to be open, and you know it's not illegal? Alcohol. Let's drink. And he completely switched the conversation and wanted to drink alcohol, and that's fine. Like, you can drink, like I'm drinking right now, but the problem is he won't even talk about things that he used to be interested in, the things that he used to talk about constantly on his podcast. He won't even give his opinion on something that he literally built his career off of. He won't even talk about that anymore. And you're telling me that he's not censored? I'm sorry, but he's fucking censored. Dude, he literally put out a video apology because he fucked up. He quote unquote fucked up by playing a video or saying something that he literally knew was probably fake or didn't even know was fake, and it wasn't even that serious. He said something about like the wildfires and how they were started or something, and I guess he got like weird information or bad information about it and said that bad information on air. But I'm sorry, and then he put out like a video apologizing. Like, dude, even his friends, even Joey Diaz was like, dude, why are you apologizing for that? It's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how anyone can listen to the Joe Rogan podcast anymore. Like, if I were to listen to it, I would have to listen to an old episode. I can't listen to any of his new shit. I feel like it's all just vapid conversations where they don't really talk about anything. And he definitely doesn't talk about anything controversial or anything like that. You know, and that's going to hurt his brand a little bit. And when he goes exclusively to Spotify, he's definitely going to lose a lot of subscribers. Now Spotify doesn't care because that's just gonna raise their business. That's why they got him. It's you know, they don't care. It's a marketing move for Spotify. You know, it's a marketing move. It's a move for Spotify to grow their business by saying, hey, we have the biggest podcaster on the planet, and he's exclusively on Spotify. So if you want to do podcasting and do Spotify podcasting, come over here. And Joe Rogan's over here, so you guys should come over here. But here's the thing, dude. Joe Rogan's over there because of $30 million fucking dollars, and it's probably more, or $100 million, or whatever it is. It's way more. He has like an astronomical contract that he's not talking about, and it really sucks because he was like a voice for like the community where people thought that like there was a lot of free speech going on, and now it's turned into like this joke. It's a joke. That's all it is. Moving on though. I'm already getting buzzed off this drink. I made a triple rum and coke, and I'm already buzzed, and I've only had a few sips of it, and it's probably because I haven't eaten in like 24 hours. I should probably eat something fairly soon. Let's see how long we've been on this podcast. 23 minutes. That's good. We're doing good. Okay. Let's move on. All right, you know what? Let's talk about, we're going to get into a segment called I Watched, and there is a lot of things that I watched in this month. So, in just this month and just the last month, there's a lot of things, especially since the last episode. So let's get started. That first thing that I wanted to talk about is the movie Antebellum. Okay, I was going to do a review for Antebellum on my Patreon, but I never did. The video I wanted to make, it just wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't feeling creative with it. I did have a creative idea, but I kind of scrapped it. I scrapped it, and I'm moving on. I'm just going to talk about Antebellum on this podcast now, so let's get into it. Antebellum was produced by Jordan Peele's company, and so he didn't direct it, he didn't write it, he produced it, which means he gave money to the filmmakers to make this movie. I thought Antebellum was okay. I thought it was actually good. I didn't think it was great. It could have been great. But it was missing a certain spark. But, a lot of people, a lot of critics, and a lot of people are comparing Antebellum to Get Out or Antebellum to Us, and they're saying that it's not as good. And Here's the reason why. Jordan Peele didn't make the fucking movie. That's why it's not as good. Okay, it's from other filmmakers. I'm not saying those other filmmakers aren't as good as Jordan Peele, but Jordan Peele has a certain spark. He has a certain aura. He brings certain things to the table that a lot of other filmmakers don't bring to the table, which is why he's a huge name in Hollywood right now. With that said, I can see why you might want to compare Antebellum to Get Out or Us. It's because of the social commentary. But here's the thing. Get Out and even Us, their social commentary is more subtle. It's more, you have to read between the lines to get the social commentary. I mean, it's not fucking like rocket science. You can definitely see it. You can definitely, picture it in your head. But here's the thing. Antebellum is on the fucking nose. It's on the nose with its commentary, its social commentary. It literally depicts slavery. Like, I don't know, like, what else you want? Like, it's literally fucking showing you what slaves went through. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely on the nose. I can definitely see why you might not want to watch it. But that's what they were going for. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to be on the nose. They wanted it to spark a conversation, and I think that's what it did. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people thought it was tasteless, classless. I, on the other hand, didn't think it was tasteless. I thought that they did a good job with what they had. I thought the plot could have been better. There was a lot of plot holes. But with what they had, I thought it worked well. It could have been done better. But I liked the reveal at the end. I liked the way that they crafted this film. I liked the performances. I thought pretty much everything was good about it. Nothing was great. But I mean, I thought it was good. And I don't see any of these other people making movies. I just don't understand, like, how you can shit on like a mainstream movie like that. Like, it's like you're not even making a movie, dude. Anyway, I mean, you don't have to make a movie to review it, but to review it in the sense that in the way that these people are reviewing it, and to tear it down the way that these people are tearing it down, I feel like you have to bring something else to the table that these people aren't bringing to the table, or you just sound pretentious. And here's the thing. That's what my video was going to be about. I was going to make a video about Antebellum, and I was going to kind of like highlight a lot of the bad things that people said about it. And I was going to try to like pick apart what people were saying and why I thought they were wrong. I also kind of thought that was like a little bit cheap and a little bit stupid, and it's kind of just like filled with drama. And I didn't want to, do that. I didn't want to do that, Okay, so the next thing, but I did want to talk about it in this month because it's October and it's spooky season. But you know what? Let's move on to something else that's in the spooky season. A lot of these movies that I'm going to be talking about do fit in with the spooky season. So let's talk about The Babysitter. Actually, let's talk about The Babysitter 1 and 2. So let me pull it up real quick. Just 1 second. Oh, also, like, random shout. I just want to give Can I just give a random shout out real quick? So I have a friend that I met online from Letterboxd, and her name's Irina, and she's really cool. She has like a really cool sense of like what movies, like what movies are like how movies are supposed to go, and I don't know. I really appreciate like her input about movies. I just wanted to give her a special shout out. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so Babysitter. First of all, I saw The Babysitter 1 when it first came out, and I totally forgot that I saw it because this movie is, to me, forgettable. It is a forgettable movie. I also don't like Bella Thorne. In fact, I've never liked Bella Thorne. I think that she's a fucking pile of trash, okay? And maybe one day we'll talk about Bella Thorne, but right now we're not going to talk about her. I just hate her. I hate the fact that she's in this movie. I want nothing to do with her. But Babysitter 1, I think that the premise was pretty good. I thought it was actually pretty funny, and I thought it was like a middle of the road movie for me. It was pretty much a middle of the road. I thought that it could have been way better, but actually, thinking back on it now, I don't think it could have been better because there's not really much you can go with it, and I think that going to Babysitter 2, making a sequel to this fucking trash movie that is kind of just okay, and making it and doing everything that like I hated about the first one and like putting it into the second one and making the whole movie like that, I basically just I can't get behind it. Oh my god, the Babysitter 2 is just, it's garbage. It's literal garbage. I mean, it's entertaining garbage. Like if you're bored and you just want to watch a movie, go ahead and put on the Babysitter 1 and 2. You could watch them back to back like I did. I thought the Babysitter was okay though. Samara Weaving can literally be my babysitter any day, to be honest with you. She is just like a hidden gem like in the film industry in general. And I feel like I just want to see more of her in movies, and what she did with her performance. I thought it was pretty good, even though the movie itself is just, there's really nothing you can fucking do about it. Like you can't do anything about this movie. It's just, it's there, it's there. That's what I think about it. But like I literally forgot that I watched it, and I'm pretty sure I watched it more than once. I'm pretty sure this was the third time I watched the Babysitter 1, and I'm just gonna forget about it in like a year anyway. That's why I wanted to talk about it. Moving on though. Ooh, okay. So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about a David Cronenberg movie. Okay, let's get fucking weird. Let's get spooky. We're gonna talk about Crash, 1996. Fucking Crash, okay? Yes, that one. The one that you fucking want to black out of your mind. That one, okay? Did I say black? The one that you want to block out of your mind. That one, okay? Fucking Crash, dude. Okay, let's talk about Crash, okay? So okay, spoilers ahead. First of all, there's a scene where James Spader fucking literally has sex with a woman's leg because it has a wound from a car crash. And basically the movie is about people who get turned on from car crashes. And there's a fucking sexy scene in it. I'm not gonna lie. There's this one like scene and where it's like they're like talking. I don't know. Dude, just watch it. I'm not even gonna fucking talk about the fucking scene, but Crashes is insane. I didn't think it was going to be that insane, and I can definitely see why it divided audiences when it came out. A lot of people hate this movie. A lot of people didn't like it. Immediately after watching it, I looked up I was trying to find reviews about Crash, and there's not many on YouTube at all. But what I did find was a video that somebody uploaded where it was Robert Ebert, and he was talking to somebody about what's that guy's name? He's another famous movie reviewer, but they were arguing about Crash because Roger Ebert loved Crash and the other guy didn't. And the other guy thought it was a pornography movie. And that's why Robert Ebert loved it. And I think that that's why I like it, because I kind of feel what Ebert was saying about it, because he described it as a softcore pornography where they took out the pornographic elements and made it about cars instead. And I feel that in my soul. That's kind of what I felt like when I was watching it. I feel like David Cronenberg just has this way of like bringing this like aura to a movie. He has a lot of body horror, a lot of sexual elements to his movies, especially like in Videodrome, which I fucking loved. Videodrome was amazing. But Crash is just like on another level of weird that like made me crave it made me want to watch every single fucking David Cronenberg movie ever made. Like it's a movie that when you watch it, you will never forget it. It's a movie that will leave a lasting impression on you, and that's not an exaggeration. I think you will definitely enjoy it if you want to check it out. It's weird, it's strange. It's all over the place. It's a fucking masterpiece. That's the only way I can describe it. I fucking loved it though. Moving on. So I ended up not that I really want to talk about this. I ended up doing acid with a friend of mine. And we watched a lot of movies, but I wanted to talk about one of them that really stood out to me. And that was Enter the Void. And I had already watched this, and I think I might have already talked about it on my podcast. I don't remember if I did or not. But watching this movie on acid was a fucking trip. Let me tell you. This movie changed my life, I think. And if you want to talk about masterpieces, this is Gaspar Noé's masterpiece. This is a movie that he was making for years before it even came out. This is a movie that he was developing. He had thoughts of developing for years, like decades before he made it. And I really appreciate him making this film. I feel like all the performances were great. I feel like the way that he crafted this was it was made for you to watch on drugs. But I watched it sober the first time. Actually, I watched it. I think this was the third time I've seen it. I believe that it was on Netflix a really long time ago, like when it came out, and I think I watched it then, but I didn't really understand it at all. Because I was young and I was impressionable. I just didn't get it and understand it. And I can totally see if you watch this movie, especially if you watch it sober, like you might not get it. You might not understand. You might hate it. And I can definitely see why. But the way that he crafted every single scene, it was just incredible. I feel like there were so many elements to this film that really brought this film home, and I don't know, I feel like you will definitely like it if you like anything Gaspar Noé has ever done. Like I really enjoyed Climax. It was really strange, weird. I love like weird, strange, auteur fucking weird movies, and Gaspar Noé definitely is one of those types of filmmakers, and this was his masterpiece. And I really appreciate the fact that I got to see this on acid, because the visuals were just fucking incredible. Like, they're life-changing. Actually, I want to talk about another movie. So I ended up watching Nightcrawler on acid as well. I love Nightcrawler, by the way. Steady hands. No, I love Nightcrawler. I think it's so fucking good. I think the way that they made that movie, I feel like that movie should have won more awards. I don't even know if it did win any awards. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have like a fucking crush on Jake Gyllenhaal. He is fucking outstanding in that movie. He Jake Gyllenhaal, man. Let's talk about Jake Gyllenhaal. He's been in so many really good movies and delivered so many good fucking performances. But his performance in Nightcrawler is just on another fucking level of insanity. Like, it's just, you feel every single fucking thing just by looking in his fucking eyes. Like, his eyes, dude. Just watch his eyes in that movie. Just say his eyes. He can put out so much emotion through his eyes. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible to watch. It is incredible to watch. Jake Gyllenhaal is a fucking gem. And that movie was so good. I loved rewatching it. This is probably like my 5th time watching it. It gets better every second. And the progression throughout the movie just gets better and better all the way to the end. Like, Nightcrawler is like one of those movies that, like, it's mainstream enough to where, like, you can probably, like, put it on the background in the background, like, even at, like, a party or something, or, like, if you're hanging out with your friends and you want to put something interesting on, but, like, you're not really paying attention to it, but, like, it's kind of cool, and, like, so you just, like, put it on. And, like, maybe, like, 2 people are, like, really invested in it. And, like, the other people that are there are, like, just kind of hanging out. But, like, also glancing over at the TV. Anything cool happens. Like, that's, like, that type of movie. But, like, also it's a movie that, like, you can literally just sit there and watch by yourself and be so fucking enthralled by the fucking performances and the fucking intensity that Jake Gyllenhaal brought to that fucking movie. Like, if anyone else was in that movie, that movie would have failed. I'm sorry, but that movie would have just been garbage to me. But the way that he crafted that performance, he got so into it. You know, that one scene where he looks in the mirror and he shakes the mirror and then smashes it. He literally fucking broke the mirror and then cut his hand, and that was not fucking planned at all. And there's scenes in the movie where you see him and his hands are, like, behind his back, and that's because they had to shoot that later on in the movie. They shot it, like, later on, and he had to hide his wound because he had to go to the hospital that day, because he was bleeding profusely all over the place. So that just shows, like, how like, much he gets into it. And, you know, I turned to my friend, because I was watching that with my friend, and I was like, what do you do, like, in a situation like where you're directing a scene and an actor just gets so into the character that he literally fucking cuts himself, like, and he's bleeding for real, and he has to go to the fucking hospital? Like, what do you do? Like, do you just keep filming, or, like, do you cut the scene? Like, what do you do? Because, like, they filmed that whole thing. Like, they filmed it all the way to the point where you can see his reflection literally walking out of the fucking room. So, like, you know that he kept fucking filming it. So it's like, do you just let him act that out and then fucking cut his hand and then, like, freak out and go to the hospital? Or, like, do you just, like, cut the scene, like, immediately when he's, like, going crazy and he's doing something that, like, could potentially hurt himself? Like what do you do? I couldn't even imagine, like, directing something like that. I feel like dude, like, when I think about movies and I think about, like, you know, like, I've worked on audio for like a short film, I think, and for commercials and stuff, but I've never really, like, worked on, like, a feature length movie or anything like that. And I couldn't even imagine, like, directing something where you have somebody like Jake Gyllenhaal who fucking just encapsulates, like, his character and really gets into it, like, to the point where he fucking cuts his hand open, like, on set, and, like, you have to direct that. Like, you have to direct that. Like, you can't not fucking, like, it's like you can't not cut. Like, if you cut the scene, then you're fucked. Because if you cut the scene and he goes off script and he does something fucking amazing like that, and you're just like so into it, like, I couldn't even imagine watching that. Like, I feel like, as, like, how, I just want to know, like, if you're a director and you're listening to this, like, how do you direct a scene, like, so that's, like, powerful and intense like that? Like, how do you not get invested in it? Like, I feel like I would just be, like, so fucking, like, out, like, I would be so invested in watching that in person that I don't think I could fucking direct the fucking, I couldn't be like, yeah, Jake, you know, I want you to move over here next time and do it, like, over here, that, like, you know, like, move a little bit to your left and do it. Like, I couldn't fucking do that, dude. Like, how do you direct like somebody like Jake Gyllenhaal in a movie? Like, I just want to know, because Jake Gyllenhaal is just so fucking dude, he's just out of this fucking world, man. Moving on. There are two more things that I wanted to talk about before we get off. There's two more things that I wanted to talk about. One of them was the movie Alone. So I watched it alone. It was actually pretty good. It really surprised me, because I thought it was going to be one of those movies that is a typical run-of-the-mill, woman in a car, distressed, like trying to get away from this killer, and he like tries to kidnap her and blah, 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 blah. But it actually was really surprising, and it took a turn that I wasn't expecting. And on top of all that, I think that the performances in the movie were done very well. And I just thought it was directed really well. Let me tell you the synopsis from IMDb, actually, real quick, so you guys can get into the movie yourself. A recently widowed traveler is kidnapped by a cold-blooded killer, only to escape into the wilderness, where she is forced to battle against the elements as a pursuer closes in on her. And it's really not what you're expecting, and I think that you will definitely enjoy it if you want to check it out, because I know I definitely did. It definitely surprised me, because I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. It definitely surprised me. Moving on, though, the last movie that I wanted to talk about, did I keep this under an hour? Let's check. Oh shit, we're at 47 minutes, bro. Like, oh my god, like, how did I keep this under? I thought this show was gonna go 2 hours. Anyway, so the next movie I wanted to talk about was Rent-A-Pal. Okay, let's talk about it. So Rent-A-Pal just came out recently in 2020. And let me read you the synopsis. Set in 1990, a lonely bachelor named David, Brian is his real name, named David, searches for an escape from the day-to-day drudgery of caring for his aging mother. While seeking a partner through a video dating service, he discovers a strange VHS tape called Rent-A-Pal, hosted by the charming and charismatic Andy, which is played by Will Wheaton. The tape offers him much needed company, compassion, and friendship. But when Andy's friendship comes at a cost, David desperately struggles to afford the price of admission. So here's the thing. This movie takes a really bleak, really dark look at loneliness and at just that loneliness, when someone, they live alone, or they live with their mom, or whatever the case may be. They basically kind of lives alone, and he doesn't have any friends, and he finds a friend through a fucking videotape that he puts in. Like, he has to fucking rewind it, and the guy just responds. But I think that this film really works. This is not really necessarily like a full-blown horror movie. This is more like a thriller. It's like a thriller drama, I'd say. It really takes a hard look at loneliness and despair and the lengths that people go to find compassion and friendship. And one thing that I really learned in my years on this planet was that you really have to be there for people, because you don't know what they might be going through. You don't know that they sit at home alone all the time. Invite people out, invite people to to be your friend and do things like that, and that makes a huge difference. Even if they decline to come out, it makes a huge difference, because or they turn into a guy like this. And I don't know. I think you would definitely enjoy this movie. There's a lot of funny parts. There's a lot of parts that will make you emotional. There are parts that'll make you like go, wow, like this guy's like really fucking lonely, But then there's parts that are kind of scary and I feel like they do a good job. It seems like it's a little bit lower budget, but you don't really notice like that it's a little bit lower budget. But I think that the performances are what really work in this. Will Wheaton actually does a great job. I knew I'd seen him in something before. I didn't know that he was in this movie, but when I saw his face, I was like, like he looks really familiar. Of course, it's fucking Will Wheaton. I love that he's in this. Actually, he's actually hilarious in it. And I think that you guys would definitely enjoy that one. It's bleak. It's really bleak. That's the word that I would describe this as, bleak and dark. If you like bleak, dark movies, strange movies that talk about strange people, I think you would definitely like this. Sometimes hard to watch, sometimes not. You will definitely enjoy it. All right, guys. I hope that you have had a good time listening to this podcast episode. I want to watch. You know what I want to watch? I want to watch Haunting of Bly Manor. I did really enjoy The Haunting of Hill House, so I'm really looking forward to that. Ashley, if you're listening, let's watch that whenever we can. I know we have a lot of movies on deck to watch. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. I'm glad to finally be back and finally be talking about movies again with you guys. And I've been working on trying to get some guests on my podcast. My friend EJ might come on eventually. We'll see how that goes. I've been talking to him about it, and I've also been talking to some actors and actresses and other podcast hosts actually to see if they'd be interested. So if you are listening to this and you host a podcast and you like talking about movies, or even if you don't host a podcast and you like talking about movies, you want to come on, fucking come on my fucking podcast and let's talk about movies. That's all I want. And if you are an actor and actress, listen, like I might do a small interview with you. Well, like, I just want to talk about movies. Like, I literally just want to talk face to face with you, or we can do a Zoom chat, or we can just do an audio call. I just want to talk about movies. So if you want to talk about movies with me, let's fucking go, man. Come on my podcast. Let's talk about movies. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I just want to talk about whatever. We can talk about certain movies that you guys want to talk about. We can talk about horror movies. We can talk about dramas. We can talk about thrillers. We can talk about comedies. We can talk about your favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. We can talk about your favorite, Stephen King movies. Whatever you want to talk about, let's go. I've been trying to get some people on. Some people haven't responded. But with that said, I really do want to get some guests on because I want to expand this podcast into something bigger, and I want people to, and I really do want to just like hear from people that are out there listening, and I want to know what you think about movies. And you can't really get that through just like a comment online, like a comment on a YouTube video. I want your real life opinion about what you think about movies live. And I want to have a discussion with you because that's what I love. I love talking about movies, and let's fucking do it. If you guys are down, message me. My email is offthecuffreviews47, offthecuffreviews47@gmail.com. Fucking send me a message on there. Send me an email. Literally send me an email. Send me a DM on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want. Add me wherever. Follow me. I'm on fucking Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm everywhere. I'm on YouTube. Send me a message. Send me whatever you want. Comment on my video. I don't care. I want to hear from you. I want to start a discussion. If you guys don't want to come on the podcast and you guys just want to start a discussion, comment anywhere you see or hear this episode, and I will definitely be reading those and definitely be commenting back. So just be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the flip side. If you guys are really interested in this type of stuff, like I said, I do have a Patreon available. and you can sign up for that for $5 a month. And I have another channel that is Off the Cuff Reviews. That is my main YouTube channel. I might start venturing into music reviews, but I also have a secondary channel where I do music related things, so I might start my music reviews on there. Who knows? We'll see how it goes, but everything's going to be linked together. I love you guys. Thanks for listening. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Stay safe, everyone.